All praises to the Most High, YAHAYASHA, and to his son, YAHAYASHA HaMASHAYAH. This is Brother Holly with the first Spirit of Truth broadcast here on the High House channel, as well as the House of the High channel on this set apart Sabbath day. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to the great I am, he who is, was, and is to come, the Almighty One, YAHAYAH, and to his son, YAHAYASHA HaMASHAYAH, who gave himself for us that we may have life, and that life is in him, YAHAYAH. Now, in this first broadcast, brothers and sisters, we're going to get right to it. I must say it because it's true. This is the fourth time I have tried to put this out. We have faced so much adversity for this. Somebody must not want you to hear this, child. I'm here to help. We'll be reading from the Hebrew Yahshua Scriptures, Paleo Edition. And I must start this off with a little bit of housekeeping. As most of you know by now, the Most High has given me a work to work on, putting together a version of the scriptures for his people called the Word of Yahweh to the 12 Tribes Scattered Precept Version. We got kickoff this week, child. We got the first 10 chapters of the book of Genesis done, and I'm excited. We're on a pace of about 5 chapters a day, so we should be done with Genesis by this time next week. At least I'm hoping. And the cyber attacks have begun, so I'm hustling, trying to get through this. So I can't make any promises. None of us know what the future holds, and none of us can speak on tomorrow, even on tomorrow, without saying if the Most High wills it to be so. So if the Most High wills it to be so that I live, his son, tarry, and earth remain, he will see it. He will see it within his permissive will that I complete this work and have something out to you as soon as possible. So I don't know what that's going to be. I will keep you posted. All praises. Turn with me to Romans chapter 8. And let's start reading at verse 24, shall we? It says, "For we are saved by hope. But hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man sees, what does he hope for?" Will you highlight? Now, did not the great apostle who wrote the book of Hebrews say, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of what we cannot see? You can't have faith, especially saving faith, without hope. And you can't have hope if you see it. If you can perceive it, you can't hope for it. So salvation will have to be something you can't see with your own eyes, but you got to believe it anyway. That's the quintessential of our faith. A rock solid belief in the invisible. None of us have seen the Father. None of us have probably seen the Son with our physical eyes. But we call upon him who is invisible. We have no image. We have no idol, no pictures, no nothing. And if you got those things, get rid of them. Burn them today. We are the people who serve the invisible, who believe in us, in the Son, whom we have not seen yet believe. Oh, praises! Does not the great apostle say that seeing you've not seen him yet believe? Your hope, your faith must be in that which you cannot see, child. So all these people hold up these images to you. Strike down those imaginations, every thought that goes against the knowledge of Hayah. Cast that into the sea of forgetfulness. Get rid of any image. You've got one, get rid of it. You got a wooden cross, steel cross, gold cross, get rid of it. No images. Because if you can see it and you praying toward it, you're an idol worshiper. Let's read it again. Romans 8:24, "For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope." So you can't be hoping for something you can look at. something you can look at can't save you. Didn't that the book of Isaiah say that? Talking about the wood of the graven image, praying to a power that cannot save. Anything on an idol, represented by an idol, that ain't gonna save you. If you can see it, it can't save. Wow. But hope, second part of the verse, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man sees, what doth he yet hope for? Verse 25, Romans 8:25. But if we hope for that which we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. Did not the Messiah say, through patience possess ye your soul? What should it profit you if you gain the whole world and lose your soul? If you want to possess your soul, you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to be patiently waiting for that which you cannot see. This is our faith. We believe in the invisible one. We believe in his invisible son, his invisible spirit. The only thing we got that we can look at is his word. Oh, praises. We got to believe it's his word, the word of the invisible one. We put our faith in that. If your faith is in anything else, you are in the wrong place. You can keep it moving. You're an idolater. Verse 26, likewise, the Spirit also helps our weaknesses, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit himself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered, or with speech that cannot be understood. That's the Spirit praying for us. The Spirit is making the intercession, not you. I'm not interceding for myself. The Spirit of Hayah is interceding for me. That same Spirit, which is called wisdom in Sirach 24, that was moving on the waters in Genesis chapter 1. All praises. That same Spirit. The one that the Apostle Paul said raised Messiah, YAHAYASHA, from the dead. That Spirit is making intercession for you. And for me. All praises. We're going to find out who the me and you are in a moment. Verse 27, Romans 8:27, and he that searches the hearts knows what is the mind of the Spirit. Who is the one that searches the hearts? Does it not say in the book of Jeremiah that Yahweh himself got the reins of your heart? He searches your heart. He got the reins of your heart. He not only searches, he directs your heart. And he, speaking of Yahweh, that searches the heart, knows what is the mind of the Spirit. He knows his own mind. Because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of Hayah. He's making intercession for the saints, the set apart people. Ain't but one group of people been set apart by sacrifice. Ain't but one group of people got a covenant with the Most High, both old and new. Ain't but one group of people. That would be the 12 tribes of Yashahaya. We're the only ones on the planet, child, that have a covenant. We're the only ones on the planet that have been set apart for his purpose. His purpose was to show himself strong on your behalf. That the heathens would know that he has been sanctified or set apart in you. All praises. That's Isaiah chapter 45. I'll read verse 27 again. He that searches the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints, or the set apart, according to the will of Hayah. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love Hayah, to them that who are the called according to his purpose. Will you highlight? Now, in the upcoming word of Yahweh to the 12 tribes scattered precept version, where it says those that love Hayah, what does it mean to love Hayah? Both Old and New Testament. I'll go to the New Testament. 1 John chapter 3 said, this is the love of Hayah, if we keep his commandments. So in the upcoming 12 tribes scattered word of Yahweh to the 12 tribes scattered precept version, it's going to say to those who keep his commandments. Not just love Hayah. It's going to say to those that keep his commandments. Because that's what it means to love him. We'll read it the way it will be. And we know that all things work together for good to them that keep his commandments, to them who are the called according to his purpose. We're the only people on the planet who are given commandments. Inside those covenants are promises and commandments. If you keep the commandments, you get to receive the promises. Oh, praises. For whom he did foreknow. Who did he foreknow? Amos chapter 3. He said, only you, speaking of the children of Yahayasha, only you have I known of all the families of the earth. So for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate. What was our predestination? A predestination is a destination determined beforehand. Where were we determined to end up? We were determined to end up being conformed into what? The image. He did predestinate to be conformed into the image of his son. Were not we told in 1 Peter to walk in his steps? Did not the great apostle Paul tell us in Ephesians to follow him as a dear child? To walk as he walked? What is the first step listed in 1 Peter chapter 3? Who did no sin. Who did no transgression of the law. Didn't our Messiah ask the Pharisees, which of you convinced me of sin? That should be your testament and my testament, child. The Most High should be able to talk to the devil about us. Say, have you considered my servant, Brother Holly? Or you considered my servant, Sister so-and-so, or Brother so-and-so? A man or woman that eschews evil and does that which is lawful and right. How? I read verse 29 again, Romans 8:29. For whom he did foreknow, he did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. He the firstborn among many brethren. It says in the book of Hebrews, I read it earlier today in my study time, that it behooves him to be made like unto his brethren, that he may be a faithful high priest and make reconciliation for the people, redeem the people. Let me help you. According to Leviticus chapter 25, you can't redeem somebody that's not your kinfolk. So he can only, Messiah, who's made like unto us, who is of the tribe of Judah, of the house of Judah, of the 12 tribes of Yahayasha according to the flesh. He can only redeem a fellow Hebrew. He can't redeem nobody else. According to Torah, he can only redeem his kin. He is our kinsman redeemer. And there's teachings on these channels on that subject. All praises. I'll read it again. Romans chapter 8 verse 29. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. It's close book. If you were foreknew, you were predestinated to be conformed into the image of Messiah, or the image of obedience, walking completely 100%, no kidding, perfect before the Father as he walked. And if that was your predestination to be conformed, you're the called. It's the predestined who are the called and the predestined are who was foreknown. Who was foreknown? Amos chapter 3. He said, only you have I known of all the families of the earth. Wow. Over whom he did predestinate, that would be the children of Jacob. Them also he called. Who would that be? Children of Jacob, according to Isaiah 44. And whom he called, them he also justified. Isaiah 45. He justified the children of Jacob. He justified us all. All 12 tribes have been justified or made righteous. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. He said in Isaiah 45, I believe it's 23, that we receive glory. It says right here in Romans chapter 9 that the glory pertains to Yahshua, the 12 tribes. Wow. So everything the Apostle Paul, so-called, is writing about here in Romans 8, Romans 9, Romans 10, Romans 11, it's all about you and I, child. Did not the great apostle say in Romans chapter 10, verse 1, it is his prayer for YAHAYASHA that they be saved. He ain't praying for everybody. Paul didn't pray for everybody. Messiah didn't pray for everybody. Peter didn't pray for everybody. Why are you praying for everybody? I don't pray for everybody. I really don't. I pray for the lost sheep of the house of Yahshua, that they may be saved and come to the knowledge of the truth. I pray that the word of Yahweh would reach out to you. That word of redemption. That Yahweh has redeemed his servant Jacob. That word be shouted to the four corners of the earth. Here on this broadcast, that's the word we shout to the four corners of the earth. Yahweh has redeemed his servant Jacob. And that redemption is found in his son, YAHAYASHA HaMASHAYAH. The HaMashayaH, the Messiah of Yahshua. All praises. The other nations ain't got no Messiah. Wow. They have no anointed king. Wow. I read verse 30 again, Romans 8:30. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. What shall we say to these things? If Yah be before us, who can be against us? The answer is nobody. Is Yahweh with us? Yes. Who can be against us? Nobody. He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all. All of us. Now, this is not semantics, child. But if I said to a group of people, hey, all of us can come in the house and eat now. Am I talking to everybody on the planet? No, I'm talking to the subject, to the group that I'm speaking to about a particular subject matter. Hey, all of us can come in the house now and eat. Now, if the people across the street overheard me say that, would they pack out their house with a napkin around their neck? No, because they know I wasn't talking to them. So all these heathens, all these other nations have that same mentality. Take it from me. He wasn't talking to you. The great apostle wasn't talking to you. The Spirit wasn't talking to you. The Messiah wasn't talking to you. I'm not talking to you. So if you overhear us talking about these things, just keep it moving. We're not talking to you. All praises. Verse 32 again, Romans 8:32. And he that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him freely give us all things? I've said it before and I'll say it again. The U.S. ain't us. It's many, not any. All ain't everybody, and whosoever may not be you. He's freely given us all things. And what are all things? We can read in 2 Peter. All things that pertain to life and godliness. All praises. Who shall lay anything to the charge of Yah's elect? Whoa. We're talking about the elect again. Time out. Fool. Give me a fool. Go back to Isaiah and find out who the elect are. Who can lay anything to the charge of Yah's elect? Who he said his elect are. It is Yah that justifies. Who did Yah say he's going to justify? The tents of Jacob. All praises. Who is he that condemns? It is Messiah that died, yea, rather, that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of Hayah, who also maketh intercession for us. Why I say also? Because we read earlier in Romans 8 that the Spirit is making intercession. Now we see the Son making intercession for us. You are never, ever, ever, child, without prayer. The Spirit of Yahweh is praying for you. The Son of Yahweh is praying for you. You covered. Me too. Verse 35, who shall separate us from the love of Messiah? Shall tribulation do it? No. And we have to define what is the love of the Messiah, of the love of Hayah, to keep his commandments. It's going to separate you from that. The tribulation separate you from keeping the commandments? No. What about distress? Nope. What about persecution? Nope. We're persecuted for keeping the commandments, not in spite of them. What about famine? Nope. What about nakedness? Nope. What about peril? Nope. What about war, sword? No. We're going to keep the commandments anyway. As it is written, for thy sake, for your sake are we killed all the day long, and we are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Yeah. Yeah. We sure are. It's throughout our recorded history, child. The more we stood up for the commandments, the more we stood up for keeping the ways of Hayah and not following after the ways of the heathen, the more they try to kill us. Did they not throw Daniel in the lion den because he would not bow down to the idols? Did they not? Throw the 3 Hebrew boys in the furnace because they wouldn't eat things and come and worship when they said to? Did not these things happen? For them not complying with the commandments of the heathens, the king's commandments. Now we apply with the Most High's commandments. We much rather obey the Most High than man, even to our own hurt. As it is written, for your sakes are we killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors. You can read, I think it's in 2 Maccabees, a glorious story about one of our brethren who was sawing the sun. The old man was sawing the sun. All he had to do was eat a little piece of pork. He wouldn't do it. He went to his death because he wouldn't eat pork. Are you willing to go that far to keep the commandments? I know I am. You won't find me breaking them. I don't care who say so. Why? Because our life here is counted as nothing but a vapor of smoke. We hear one minute, gone the next. You might not be here to see this broadcast by the time it's put out. I don't know. You don't know. So why exchange for eternity for a moment that you can't hold on to if you wanted to? Wow. Romans 8:37, nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Hayah, which is keeping his commandments, which is in YAHAYASHA MASHAYAH, our master. Close the book. Receive the love of the truth that you might be saved. Let your hope be in the one who came and rescued you, redeemed you from all iniquity. Let your hope be in YAHAYASHA HaMashiach. All praises to the Most High, Ahaya, and to his Son, YAHAYASHA HaMashiach, our hope. Yadah, Haya.